Hey, good morning. In my last video, which was the Masterdom video at the end of last year, I said that I was working on a couple of projects, one of which I had finished and one of which I was nearly finished. The nearly finished one, I'm still kind of working on it. I've got one last thing to do, and I'm not really waiting for anything, and I'm not really, waiting for anything to arrive in the post or anything. I'm just lazy and I haven't got around to it. But I'm going to show you where I am at today. The reason I've been working on this is because I work within a budget. Now, there are a lot of guitars that I want. Like, there's a load of guitars that everyone wants. Everyone has their, like, dream guitars. For me, like, when I was young, growing up in East London, I listened to a lot, and I mean a lot, of East Coast rap. I didn't actually get into guitar music until quite late, into the late 90s. And at that time, there was a lot. I mean, this was just before nu metal happened, so there was still a lot of like grunge and stuff like that around. So Soundgarden, Nirvana, obviously, Stone Temple Pilots, things like that. And at that point as well, Guns N' Roses had kind of fallen apart, but they were still being played a lot. So there were a couple of guitars that I really, really wanted and have never got because I just can't afford it. So I really, really, really want, obviously, the K7, like the original K7 with that super weird tremolo system. Like, it had this weird handlebar thing on it. Obviously want that in grey, like the 2000 whatever model that was. So yeah, original K7 in grey. I would love the Kim Thale Guild guitar, the Kim Thale signature. That looks amazing. Obviously, the Cobain Mustang, like the sky blue one, would be really, really nice. Slash's Appetite Les Paul, that would be fantastic. So there's a lot of really, really, really nice sort of dream guitars that I can't afford, but, one day, maybe, if they exist anymore, if they haven't all turned to dust and firewood, maybe I'll end up with one. One of those guitars was Jerry Cantrell's G&L Rampage. Like, if you've seen that guitar, it's just so perfect, because all it is a stripped down workhorse guitar. Like, it was built for one job, and it wasn't built to look nice. It wasn't built to sound particularly great. It was to tour. It was to gig. It was a workhorse guitar. That was its job, and it did it really, really well. Obviously, I can't afford a G&L Rampage because those things are mad expensive, and the Jerry Cantrell signature versions, even more so. They are incredibly expensive. See, here's the thing with buying guitars, right? If you're on Reverb, people know what they've got, and they kind of charge accordingly. If you're on eBay, people don't know what they've got, and it's all over the place. You go on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is the Wild West. It is insane, some of the stuff you see on there. You see people who have got like a beat up Cort Strat copy, and it's like, yeah, I want 200 quid for it. You're not going to get that. Like, you're just not going to get that. So it's full of people who have no idea what they've got, and the prices are all over the shop. And a guitar that I've wanted for a couple of years turned up, and I bid on it, or I contacted the guy, because it's Facebook, you don't bid. So I contacted the guy within 6 minutes of it being up. And I was like, I'm super interested, how much? And he was like, make me an offer. And I went, 30 quid. And he went, okay. So I picked it up for 30 quid. But this is a project of mine. I can't afford the G&L Rampage, but what I could afford was this. And I've wanted, like I said, I wanted it for a couple of years, and I was going to turn it into my alternate Jerry Cantrell tribute guitar. It is goofy looking, very goofy looking, but trust me on this one. Trust me. Look at it. So, for those out of the loop, this is I believe it's a 2008. So this is like 15 years old. SpongeBob, essentially just a Strat copy, but it's super thick. This thing weighs a ton. I believe it's maple body, two-piece maple neck. Well, I know it's a two-piece maple neck because I can see it, but I believe it's possibly a maple body as well. I'm not sure. These things are so highly sought after that the guy on Facebook that I messaged after it had been up for 6 minutes pulled the listing. And I'm like, oh, he's twigged. Never mind, lost out. Turns out he pulled the listing because after I had contacted him and we had agreed to meet, his inbox was full of people trying to get this. These things, as goofy as they look, sound amazing. For a tie-in budget guitar to like SpongeBob series, I don't know, 4 at that point. Like, they sound so good. So obviously it needed some changes. The first thing it needed, it had a black pickup in there, and it had black volume and tone knobs. They had to go. Like, I want this thing to look the business. And I figured, seeing as it's SpongeBob, why not go for a nautical thing? Because nautical nonsense is clearly something I wish. So I put in a white pickup ring with silver screws and a white Warman. This is called a 12 gauge. So it's a humbucker, which I have put in a push-pull pot. So I can either have the back just as a single coil or a humbucker with it pushed down. I've changed the volume and tone knobs to mother of pearl. So we've got mother of pearl on there, mother of pearl on there. And I've changed the black inlay dots to, I don't know if you can see that, abalone, New Zealand abalone or abalone, I don't know how you say it, inlays. Drilled them out, installed them, just glued them in, sanded it, finished it, put them in. That is never going to focus, is it? There you go. Oh, no. There you go. Beautiful. It looks amazing. The only thing I have left to do is the side dots, which are still black, but I have ordered. I've actually got them. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. Also for the back, I ordered a pearl piece of acrylic. So that used to be black, but now it's pearl. And I have completely rewired it. It's got none of the original wiring, none of the original pots. I put in all my own stuff. I've also changed the tuners to pearl tuners because, again, nautical nonsense. So we've got pearl, 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 clamshell. This thing is my G&L Rampage. This is the thing. So this is, for all intents and purposes, my grunge guitar. Like, it's perfect. It is a workhorse guitar. Full size. This is not again, it looks goofy and it looks like a child's guitar. This is a full size, heavy guitar. Like this, a kid could not lift this. Like, it is a thick, chunky boy. This is not a guitar for a child. This is a guitar for a fully grown child. It's even got a belly cut. Like, it is, and it's got like the contour here as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful guitar. And here's the thing. 30 quid. And the guy that had it, so the story behind the guy that had it is he bought it for his niece. And his niece has never used it, ever. So he bought it, put it in a wardrobe, and left it. And it had sat there for 15 years in this wardrobe, never played. This thing, other than a few dings, which it got while it was here, in my house, like, nothing. It's brand new. Plus with a brand new high output pickup. This is a heavy, heavy, heavy output. It loves pinched harmonics, just like the 7-string pickup that I put in that. This is just, I mean, it's, again, not to go back to it, but the Henrys. This has got all of the Henrys. Loves the Henrys. Yeah, this is now my new favourite grunge guitar. And I have been playing so much Alice in Chains on this thing. that one thing was missing, because Alice in Chains have got some amazing riffs. Like Dirt is one of the greatest albums of all time. Facelift as well. Phenomenal albums. So the one thing that was missing was, obviously if you're playing Alice in Chains, you need a wah pedal. So I bought a wah pedal. This is a Behringer Hellbabe. It's an optical spring-loaded one. Still needs a bit of tinkering with. I've only had it for a couple of days. There's a lot of dials and knobs and potentiometers that are buried inside, and it's going to take me a while to work out how to get it to sound like Jerry's wah, because at the moment it doesn't. And also I've got an issue where when I take my foot, because again it's an optical spring-loaded one, so there's no click on and click off. As soon as you let go, it turns off. How fast it turns off, there's a potentiometer underneath, which I have to muck around with because it's not doing it fast enough. So there's a little bit of a delay, whereas if you had like a Crybaby, you just toe tap it and it goes off. So I'm still playing around with that, but this and this combined, that's your Jerry Cantrell starter kit. No problem. And for what it's worth, all of this together, including the pickups, the inlays, the wah pedal, the guitar, under 100 quid. At the very most, including postage, what, 110 for your Jerry Cantrell starter kit. You can probably tell I am so happy right now. Again, like Deftones, you take each string and you tune it down half a step, and then that's your D sharp standard. So it'll be in D sharp, C sharp, G sharp, no, D sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp. And then for some of his songs, he takes that top string and then takes it down again so it matches the third string. So it'll be C sharp, G sharp, C sharp, F sharp, A sharp, D sharp. So for things like Damn That River, it's in drop C sharp. And for things like Man in a Box, it would be in D sharp standard. So yeah, so a couple of tunings mucking around with, but again, I mean, look at this thing. I am having so much fun with this. And again, on a budget, if you're gonna go anywhere, honestly, I am not on Facebook at all, but Facebook Marketplace, I'm telling you, it is the Wild West. There is gold in them hills. You just have to sift through so much sewage to find it, but there is gold there. Get on there and look for some guitars, because I mean, come on. Like, I love you, Jerry, but come on, man. You missed a trick. You could have been in with the Nickelodeon boys. All right, what I'm gonna do is quickly hook this thing up to the pedal. I've got it like a rough Alice in Chains sound. It's not perfect. I haven't spent ages dialing in a good sound. I've just very quickly been tinkering around with the EQ, and this is gonna go into the Tantrum, so no metal zone, nothing like that. It's just gonna go straight into the Tantrum, and then into the wah, and then into the practice amp. I have no idea what this is gonna sound like, but again, remember, like max 110 quid. So let's find out. Okay, to start things off, we're just gonna do a little clean test. This is just guitar, straight to the amp, no pedals, no noise gate. I think there's a bit of EQ. There's a little bit of EQ on it, but it's mostly just scooping out a few of the mids, nothing major. Let's hear what it sounds like. Now, remembering that this is a promotional guitar meant to tie into the 4th series of a Nickelodeon cartoon. Like, sorry, Jerry. Like, I love your GNL Rampage, but come on, man. Like, come on. Like, I love your GNL Rampage, but come on. Really? Oh, so good. So good. Anyway. Hey, good morning. Now, in my what's what am I clapping for like a friggin' seal?